Good morning. It is not morning. Good night, everybody. And welcome to the last match for today's block for UTC. It is prime gaming time for somebody out there. Most likely the Territories, as we will soon find out. I'm Fire Ridge. This is the Territories versus Washington State. Washington State has been historically pretty strong, but in the losers bracket early on here. This is a losers bracket match, so whoever loses this will be out of the tournament. Washington, I think, is coming in as the kind of undisputed favorite, but we'll see what Territories has to offer. Territories consisting of players from, this time around, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Northern Mariana Islands. So Guam and NMI getting some awesome time to work with here. I think it's around 1 to 2 p.m. for them. So prime gaming time for them. Not so much for Washington. It is 9 p.m. currently on the Pacific Coast. Once again, I'm Fire Rage, going to be joined by Ika for this cast. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Very excited for this one. Territory is obviously the lower seeded team at 29, but still some pretty good talent on this roster. I think the SR of the pool is low enough to the point where we could see a lot of very contestable points for this Territories team. And obviously Washington, always a pleasure to see these guys. A very solid roster all around. So I think we're going to have a pretty decent match on our hands.
Both teams have elected to choose warm-ups, so Washington, I think everyone already kind of knows what their warm-up is going to be at this point. As for the Territories, it will be a double-time map that I've actually not seen before, so should be interesting to see. Granted, this is warm-up, so absolutely nothing here matters.
Yeah, exactly. Not too familiar with this one either, but you know, we'll see. We'll see exactly what happens.
Be starting things off, I believe, with Territories warm-up first.
It's indeed. I really wonder what Territories is going to look to pick into for this match. Because Washington is definitely one of those teams with, although they have a little bit of a lower seeding, they really have a solid roster on pretty much any skill set you could think of. So I would imagine that Territories consists more of mechanics players, so I would probably expect to see them opting into some of the more mechanics picks, like your DT1, DT2, free mod 3, stuff like that.
Yeah,
things that are pretty approachable for a wide margin of players.
Wouldn't really surprise me. I think Washington is much more of a gimmick-oriented team, with Ethan Trix being obviously the standout player there. So I imagine probably just going to be insta-seeing Hidden 2 banned from Territories, not wanting to deal with that. We've been seeing that banned by almost every team, or every match at least.
Yeah, I know we saw basically every match. I think actually every match banned Hidden 2 last week, right?
Every match banned Hidden 2 last week, and we're almost there with this one.
That is very funny. Although I think this Hidden 2 is way more approachable. For the most part, it just played like a standard Hidden 2 with some overlaps for the most part. But the color combos in that map make it pretty easy to read. At least I felt on sight read anyway. I sight read 800k and then couldn't break 400k after that, so I don't know. Maybe it's just that kind of map, who knows?
Starting with Washington's warm-up. This is the warm-up they've been picking for, I don't even know how long at this point. I swear to God, it's been almost over 6 years.
Yeah, we have a couple of these warm-ups that have become staples for teams. Washington with this one, Georgia with the double went down to Georgia. It's pretty cool to see how some of these maps will just be chosen time and time again. And they're kind of expected to be seen on the broadcast now.
Yeah. Anyway, rise for the Washington national anthem.
All rise, all rise. We're gonna have to let them know to swap slots at some point.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Ethan Tricks, on FCing. Or at least I'm assuming FCing. Unless he just misses on absolute air here. That'd be really funny.
That would be pretty funny. I've just been watching kind of in awe. Nope, he finishes it out.
2% FC. Congratulations.
Dropping nearly 18%. Oh, okay, I know this one. This is like a 220 stamina pick, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so, kind of keeping in line with what we expect territories to pick into.
Yeah, definitely makes a lot of sense that this is their warm-up.
Typhoon debuff.
Yeah, I hear that we're...
Oh, they're actually having a typhoon.
Yeah,
oh, they're actually having a typhoon.
Yeah, no, there's some pretty bad weather going on.
Category 5 equivalent super typhoon. Wait, that's actually fucking insane.
Oh boy.
And they're still playing. They would not give this up for the world.
I do hope that everyone stays safe from the typhoon, though. That is some scary stuff. Extreme weather like that is no joke.
feel like they wouldn't be playing right now if they couldn't manage it.
Yeah,
So.
no, that is fair. That is true.
Is going off.
Yeah, he's the only one still holding combo through the territories warm up here. Let's see if we can finish out. Not quite the full combo, I don't think. Or maybe it is actually.
Not quite a full combo, I don't think. Accuracy is well,
Oh, well.
doesn't matter anyway because they missed at the end.
Yeah, shaking off the last burst. They had a miss before that anyway, but still pretty solid. Pretty solid score. 600k from Somos as well. Looks like we are getting into the picks and bans here. Washington opting for the first pick. I think it's very fair if you're the higher seeded team and you know that you have a bunch of picks that at the very least on paper you should have an advantage on. I think that's pretty safe as a first pick for Washington here.
I think the bans are pretty obvious here. DT2 probably for Washington or Free Mod 3, and then Hidden 2 for the territories.
Yeah, you're 1 for 2 already.
There's not really any other way the ban
equation.
Viz goes, to be honest.
Yeah. There you go. Hidden 2 taken out as well. And Washington going to start off the match with their first pick. Will not be surprised to see a Hidden 1 off rip, because that map does have non-zero amount of reading elements to it with the overlaps, but no, gonna go with the Free Mod 2 anti-mod as their first pick. Also very fair.
Yeah, this is the anti-mod pick, so not really horribly surprising to see Washington go for this. Any of the gimmickier map picks, I think, is ideally what they want to be going for. So this Hidden 1 and something like the No Mod 3, No Mod 4 up their alley for sure. This is anti-mod, so regardless of what mod you take on this, you're not really going to have a fun time unless your name is Ethan Tricks, who just plays with Hidden no matter what happens, so...
Yeah, Ethan Tricks going to be pretty solid. Likely to see Cammy come in on the Hard Rock, I'm expecting. Yeah, we like to finally swapping slots, so they are right on the stream now. Verderix coming in as well. Maybe Verderix opting for Hidden, because I know he is very, very good on Hidden as well, so maybe we could see Verderix on Hidden. Ethan Tricks just taking easy as a pretty free FC for the most part on easy for this map. Not too many difficult patterns, except for I think there's
a lot of
burst with
patterns in this.
the burst with the triangle at the front. or the burst with the triangle with the at near the start of the map is.
There's a lot of
Probably
tricky
stand
patterns
out.
scattered throughout as well. Besides that, to be honest.
I think if you are Ethan Trickster, you could probably just take any sort of reading mod and be fine. But you're seeing good luck to come out in chat, and we're going to get into the first map here. I think Vertex on that no mod, Ethan Tricks taking the hidden, and Cammy taking the hard rock as well.
Yeah, kind of the mod categories we expected for Washington. Kami on the hard rock, Ethan Tricks on the hidden. Vertex, the reliable no mod, will be hidden hard rock for Zone Luis and Jose on the easy.
Is this a valid mod combo? I don't think
Should be
easy
a valid
counts.
mod combo.
I don't think easy counts as a what do you call it? No, unique mod.
Well, they're gonna have to add a hidden or hard rock in. Unfortunately for territories, I think 2 of their players are gone because of the storm around them, so and they already have it pretty rough off the rip.
Yeah, that is brutal, unfortunately.
So Poon's on the hidden. Keep the easy on Jose.
I think that's probably best case for territories. Try to keep 2 players as similar of an experience as they can.
This is Washington's pick, so pretty favored on this. We'll see how they do on it. But right now, Poon struggling with the added mod combo with the hidden. But outside of that, Jose going to be missing on the triangle pattern that you mentioned. Outside of that, everyone else getting through that section with relatively little damage.
The entirety of Washington looking pretty solid so far. And for the most part, the bottom row on territories looking pretty solid. Poon seems to have a fair recovery combo, although the hack leaves a little something to be desired. And as I say that, unfortunately going to go down on that 5-no burst there. No one going out on the first little set of cuts there. Unfortunately, Zone Luis is going to go down on another one of those patterns on the hidden hard rock. And Washington looking extremely solid on their first pick, as expected, I want to say.
I mean, we were expecting a decent team score, but I don't think we were expecting a triple FC this far into the map. This is kind of disgusting. Ethan finally drops on that little space burst right there. So we'll be just 2 FCs now, but pretty firmly in the lead for Washington and looking to get their first point pretty convincingly.
Dude, although Jose starts looking very solid on the easy, I'd like to mention. Pretty good recovery after that initial break there. Unfortunately though, everyone else around him does continue to find breaks, and this one is slipping into that unwinnable territory, which it has been treading for a little while.
Kami finally going to be dropping the Hard Rock FC, just Vertex on the Nomad FC. We'll see if he can hit this triple pattern. No, he does not. In fact, Ethan is the only person to hit that pattern alongside Jose on the easy.
yeah, looking very solid for Washington, taking their first pick by about 1 million score. I'm not sure if that's including easy multiplier or not. I believe it is.
It should be including the easy multiplier, and
yeah, it looks like it is.
nevertheless, it is just a dominant performance all around. No one below 600k, even on the hidden mod. Unfortunate slider break for Ethan Tricks, and even if Poons went with his comfortable mod pick on no mod, that would have not made a difference, even if he FC'd. So doesn't have to take that too hard at the very least. But definitely not something you want to be seeing on your first pick. Nonetheless, it will be territories to pretty much immediately go for free mod 3, which is kind of what we expected. We're imagining they're going to be picking into this in DT1 at some point in this match. This is the speed burst oriented free mod pick, just all about mechanics.
Yeah, I do think this is probably, of the speed maps in the pool, the more approachable one between that and DT2. This one basically just standard silver boxer speed at 246. Nothing too crazy. I do expect Washington to have a very solid roster for this as well, though. So Territories does have to bring their A game. So Kimchi coming in the lobby for Washington and DNFT as well. Ethan Trick staying as expected, likely going to be in for the majority of these picks. And same roster for Territories.
Yeah, I imagine we're probably going to be seeing the same roster for Territories throughout most of this, I imagine. Mods on Washington, going to be Hard Rock on Kimchi and Ethan, obviously on the Hidden. DNF on No Mod. And likewise, pretty similar mod combinations. Zone Luis on the Hidden Hard Rock, but outside of that, Jose on the Hidden, and that'll be it.
He's going to be the first one to find a miss here early on in the map, though not the biggest deal in the world. A couple more as well. Seeming like he is the person who's least comfortable with speed on this Territories roster. Spoon's still holding SS for solid, as I say that he drops. That one's on me. Everyone else holding some pretty solid combos though. Only a little bit of axe troubles on some of this here, but everyone else looking very solid.
It's just that miss from Jose making pretty much all the difference at the moment. Plenty of map for that to change, only a third of the way through. But if he continues to miss like this, not really going to be helping much. The NFD does trade one of the misses, so it is 2 FCs to 2, but overall supporting score is just way better for DNF in comparison. So they're going to need to, Territories are going to need to rely on one of the two, or both of the two combos on Washington to miss at some point here, and then have their 2 players that can FC, continuous FCs. There goes Kimchi, so one of the FCs down on Washington, just Ethan Tricks remaining up against Poons and Zone Luis. That will trade the score gap pretty sizably over to Territories as long as they can hold it, which they can't. Zone Luis drops at the very end there on a slider break.
Oh, just a brutal one to see. Fortunately, though, the no mod combo does still stand, which is definitely easier than Hidden Hard Rock, although we get into probably the most finger control part of the map here. Zone Luis with another break. Everyone else looking very solid as we get into this little slowdown section, and Washington leading by about 130k. Another break, another couple breaks rather.
Even with those breaks, it'll make a difference. There's not really anything else to miss on here in this map, outside of this section here, which I think is a bit more tame. Just kind of triples and bursts, not anything really crazy. Kimchi does miss on it, but already had missed prior. Main story is the FCs, and Ethan Tricks and Poons looking to close out. Their 2 FCs will do so. Just
Both pretty
overall,
decent.
Washington.
Both pretty decent team scores, all things considered. Washington, though, looking very solid off the back of Ethan Tricks on the hidden FC and 99 AC. 99 on DNF as well. So Washington immediately taking that break point, and they've got their own pick right here to see if they can consolidate that. Which you've got to imagine they go into another one of the more gimmicky picks, maybe a DT3.
They could pretty much go for anything, to be honest, and it would make sense. It's kind of
Yeah.
the unfortunate reality of having this much of a high seed up against a low seed like this, especially when the pools start getting harder. You can pretty much, you can do anything, and your general talent skill level is just kind of going to carry you at the end of the day. It will be the pick, though, which is what we were kind of expecting.
Yeah, this one does have non-zero amount of reading to it, and I think this is probably the weirdest map in the pool, which I think if you are more comfortable on that sort of thing, which this Washington team most definitely is, then it is one of the picks that I think a lot of higher seeded teams are going to and have been picking into against these teams that are, you know, just more mechanics focused as a whole. Absolute heater of a song as well.
Unfortunately, like every good song, it is timing hell, so I don't imagine we're going to be getting good act from pretty much anyone here, especially as this is a more slider-focused map.
Yeah, it's kind of been the story of most of the matches I've seen, where we see maybe one or two people holding above like 90, 97, maybe 98. They're really comfortable, and everyone else kind of hovering down at the low 90s.
The main story of this map mostly comes down to its ending, which is by far the hardest part of the entire map, but I think we've seen a lot of these. Any team that picks this usually has a score lead by the time that section comes. That's kind of insurmountable.
Yeah, I agree with that. The ending is just brutal, honestly. The speed up is just crazy to try and hit and match. Only seeing one person hit it, and that was Bochi Cookie in the Carolina match. Looks like we were going to get into it here. Going to be same roster for territories. Washington bringing in Verderix.
Yeah, the hidden roster kind of expected for Washington.
Only seeing an early, or two early breaks from territory side, giving Washington a little early lead here. Ethan Tricks and Zono's
Ethan, what are you doing, bro?
On some of these overlap swing patterns, which you do not really want to be missing in the early parts of this map, but we're seeing a lot of them. Only one FC is left on the board, and it is Verderix, and Washington already holding almost a 200k lead as we approach the halfway point in the map.
Definitely territories I don't think practiced this map, unfortunately, because Poons and Zoneweaves were both getting caught off guard by the slight reading pattern there on the direct overlaps. And unfortunately, that is going to be more than enough to essentially secure this point right off the bat, even with just one combo on Verderix. Even Tricks with a decent recovery, but be more than enough to secure the point here. Now it's just whether or not we see anybody actually hit this ending.
The speed up of doom and despair. Doesn't quite get started for a little bit. These sliders absolutely brutal to try and act. And we're seeing that from everyone on the lobby here. Still holding pretty solid though.
Rex still holding on to the FC, and there they go. Goodbye.
Unfortunate slider break. What can you do? That'll happen.
Actually does manage to hit the entire ending there alongside Ethan Trick, so S rank for Verterix on that. 735k.
Yeah, very solid team score from Washington here. 1.6 mil. And they have consolidated their breakpoint pretty handedly. And Territories back against the wall, down but not out. Still have a little bit of room to work with here. I do imagine they are going to just jump right back into the mechanics, although there's not much actual speed left in this pool.
It'll be the free mod 1, so something more generic. So still within the realm of mechanics-oriented picks, but
this is a really fun, kind of awkward aim map with a lot of spaced flow patterns that I could never manage to hit, but I don't know, maybe it's not so bad for some of these players. I do imagine Washington not going to change up their roster too much from their past free mod.
Yeah, it's just going to be Cammy on the Hard Rock, Ethan on the Hidden, and Verterix on the No Mod.
Yeah,
More interested to see Territories, if Jose will go Hidden Hard Rock still, and Zone Luis on the Hidden. Or no, vice versa, Jose on the Hidden and Zone Luis on the Hidden Hard Rock. We'll see if they opt to run it back there.
I think it's been the same for the past couple few months, so I don't imagine it's going to be too different now, but we will see. We are going to be getting right into it. Fourth map of this match. Seeing double Hidden on Washington. A little bit of overmodding here.
I mean, makes sense.
Yeah,
It's a high AR map, so it's more accessible with Hidden, and Verterix definitely is more capable of playing Hidden than No Mod, I would say.
yeah, I think it's very fair. Territories exactly as expected. First a little bit of aim, catching out Ethan Tricks early on, but more than capable of stabilizing.
I think this is the first lead Territories have actually had in a map.
Yeah, I think so. And if they continue to hold like this, if this just stays the way it is, they're gonna have their first point under their belt.
We got a lot of time before that actually happens, though, only a fourth of the way through. This is one of the longer maps in the pool, so any misses from pretty much anyone can immediately shift the scoreline. Jose and Kami going to be trading misses there. So, essentially keeping things on even footing. 2 FCs to just the 1 on Washington. A lot of struggles from Kami, actually. Chain missing that entire stream there. And for the most part, everyone else staying pretty strong on this. The advantage towards territories for right now.
Unfortunately, Kami just cannot get their footing on these bursts here. And that is really helping this lead balloon over to the territories side. Double FC on the bottom row definitely helps. Very solid, especially when it was on that Hidden Hard Rock. That burst, though, it's a brutal one on Hidden Hard Rock, and it does catch them off guard. The only combo left, the only full combo left on the territory side. Poons on the Nomad has to match a Verderix on that Hidden Comfort.
For right now, it will still remain in territory's favor. It's pretty equal, actually. Jose and Ethan Tricks kind of going one. Okay, well, not anymore. Jose slider breaking will give Ethan Tricks the combo advantage, and this is going to slowly go over to Washington. Kami, unfortunately, just can't get a combo, and that's mainly what's slowing this down right now for Washington.
That lead very slowly creeping over towards Washington, though, off of that break from Jose there. I think if this continues, Washington is just slowly going to get that lead back off of the accuracies on the big combo.
They need either Ethan or Verderix to miss for this to be kind of inevitable. And there goes Poons, and just like that, the lead's going to be immediately skyrocketing over to Washington. Gets the lead, even with Kami having one of the worst performances I imagine he's ever had on this map. Classic term and play performance.
Yeah, what can you do? What can you do?
Verderix looking to close out the hidden FC. Ethan Tricks with a reverse choke. And it seems like that is going to be what happens.
I think there's just one more burst that can catch you off guard in this one. But nope, Ethan Tricks misses on it, but Verderix holds the full combo. And Washington gets that point. Unfortunately, territories can't quite catch a break on their own picks, and Washington has another one of their own.
It's just a very unlucky 2v3.
Yeah, and what can you do? Although pretty solid team score from territories, though. I believe that's about 1.7, 1.8 mil. Not too bad on this map, especially when you can miss on basically any of the space bursts if you get a little unlucky. Territories hinting at that DT1 we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, kind of the expected
Washington
pick. This is their last hurrah. Already down 4-0.
I'm afraid it's Washington's pick, though. DT1 just DT1 or the territories.
And they're not going to give them. They're not going to give them the benefit.
Yeah.
Hard Rock 2, kind of the. I wouldn't say expected pick for Washington. I think Nomad 3, Nomad 4 probably would have been better for them. But Hard Rock 2 is something that they're more than capable of playing.
I also think it is another one of those maps which, if you're not really adept in precision, it can be extremely unapproachable. There's a lot of cut flow patterns, linear aim, that it's really tough if you're not extremely good at precision already, which a lot of teams do have a very solid precision roster for this. Territories being 2 players down, I'm not sure if they are going to be able to field a roster quite as strong as Washington will be able to.
Yeah, that's the main problem. This is a OWC 2016 finals map. Fun fact, everyone sucked at this map 10 years ago. We'll see if it's still the case in 2026.
I think I only managed to get one good run in practice on this. Every other run's just 400k.
this on anything in this map, to be honest. There's not really any easy part. The easiest part that comes closest is like a stream section at the middle of the map, and even then, you can still shake off the stream pretty easily just because of the nature of precision. For right now, absolutely nobody besides Kami and Jose Sucks is having a good time on this.
Yeah, kind of to be expected, although the build accuracies for territories really do speak wonders here.
Okay, hold on a second. Jose has a combo here. Okay, well, that's a shake and a half. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh boy.
The mild shake.
These cut flow patterns not really getting anyone else.
The fabled mild shake is... Oh my god,
oh,
the fabled mild shake is happening in real time!
Oh my goodness. And the linear aim can definitely be tough when you got shaped like that as well. Washington, though, looking extremely solid, as Vertex and Kami have both gotten some very solid recoveries. Although the bottom row on territories as well, Poons gets slow slidered, it happens. Oh, yeah, what can you do?
This is a solid pick for Washington, not really much to say. Kind of what we expected, and it'll be GG. Well played. Washington advance in the losers bracket. Unfortunately, territories will be eliminated. Absolutely nobody besides Ethan hitting that funny double pattern at the very end there. I've seen a lot of people break on that. And that'll do it. It'll be Washington, as we said, winning, advancing in the losers bracket. They will be playing against, let me pull up the bracket here real quick. They will be playing against Nevada, the highest seed outside of Colorado in the losers bracket currently.
Boy, that ought to be a good match. Seed 7, Seed 13. Yeah, unfortunately, not a whole lot you can do as territories when you're down 2 players due to circumstances out of your control.
Yeah.
Just a what can you do moment. Unfortunate. Also brutal teams to go up against losers bracket round 1. Like Washington going down this early to face the teams. Yeah, what can you do? Unfortunate. Thank you for coming out, though. Territories players, awesome to see a team being formed. Washington moving on to the next round. And I believe the B-Stream match is still going on, but there shouldn't be any more matches tonight after that.
No more matches tonight. The B-Stream has the final match, Indiana versus Arizona, currently 3-1 in favor of Arizona, so we'll be hosting that stream pretty shortly after. We'll wrap things up here so you guys can get as much as you can of that. It seems to just be starting Hard Rock 2, funnily enough. So we will see you guys then. For now, that's going to be us. It's Ika and Fiery. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Have a good night, guys.